Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome back to whatever this is. Tonight, we are going to try a dark-fired Kentucky. Dark-fired, some of this dark-fired Kentucky. Oh, I can smell it. Before I even open the bag, I can smell it through the bag, and it smells like Smells just like barbecue deliciousness. A bit of wood, smoky, earth, meaty. No sweetness. I'm not getting any sweetness. No hay, no grass, none of that stuff. Okay. Delicious. I'm really looking forward to this. Now, the only question is, what am I going to smoke it in? Because I don't know if this is going to be, obviously over time, I'm going to smoke this stuff in several different pipes, but I don't know if tonight should be like a wide bowl, a narrow bowl, a really narrow bowl, a deep bowl, a shallow bowl, a French bowl, a barbecue bowl, a fricassee bowl, all kind of bowl. What are we thinking here? Man, I just friggin' love this pipe so much. Just enjoy smoking out of it. I had some Chelsea morning out of it last night. It was magnifique. That one's got it good. Maybe just the old CT. Although this one can get a little warm. Maybe the GG. I haven't smoked this in a while. We have a reducer in here. We do have a reducer in here. Yeah, let's go with the GG. Pack it up. Feel, texture, consistency. It's like a maybe a ready rubbed, I guess, or a rough cut. Very dry. Very, very dry. Not like crispy, crunchy dry, but very little noticeable moisture. If I squeeze it into a ball, it like springs back immediately. Okay, hold up. Let me pack this bowl here. Sprinkle some in here. It's very, very loose pack. It's a little loose pack. Just a little loose pack. Pack a deck. Okay. Very, very loose packed. Not, we didn't even really compress it until the very, very end. We just kind of did a pinch and a drop into it. It's not, it looks like it's packed, but it's not compressed. So I just, sprinkled some in there and then did a couple knocks, sprinkled a little bit more, a couple more knocks. And I took a final pinch and I put it right on top and I just pushed that down into the bowl without packing it. Okay. Dark Fire Kentucky, Cornell and Deal blending tobacco. Been looking forward to this. Here we go. That's going to be annoying. So right away I get that smokiness, not only in the secondhand smoke, but in the mouth. And you're like, of course you are. You're literally smoking the tobacco leaf. No, that's not what I'm talking about. It's the smokiness of the oak, or whatever wood they're using to smoke the leaf as they're curing it. It's not exactly the same note that you get from the bag or the jar, but it's the same. Oh, sorry. It's the same. I don't know. It's smokiness. Little sweetness there. Not like not like Virginia sweetness. The sweetness you get from the grass or the hay or the straw flavor. It's just it's close to that. It's like something that's on its way to that, but hasn't quite arrived. Little heat on the retro. I could tell if I really got a good flow going, it'd be pretty intense. A little bit of pepper on the side of the tongue now. Yeah, the taste taste of the tobacco and the smoke really permeates, not the right word, envelops, encompasses, sticks to, adheres to, lingers in the mouth, side of the tongue, back of the tongue, top rear of the mouth, or of the mouth, and then down into the throat. Yeah, there's like a almost like a for those of you that barbecue and smoke meats, cheeses, whatever, if you use mesquite, which is one of the most common ones, the sorry, there's a little, I don't know if sweetness is the right word, but to the smoke, there's a little hint of sweetness. And I know that I'm probably not describing it correctly or adequately. It's probably something else, but sweetness is what my brain is using to describe it. I'll see if I can pinpoint it a little bit more. Just give it just a little bit of tamp, just to knock down that ash layer. Let's see what we get. That was wrong. Yeah, man, there's a hint of that Virginia sweetness. It's not pronounced. Well, maybe it would be to someone with a more refined palate, but to my caveman senses, it's just there. don't know why I keep doing that. Keep inhaling when I mean to exhale. Man, that's nice. Ooh. Mm. I'm not going to attribute it to the tobacco, to the blend, but I did just get just a just a quick glimpse of green pepper. Now I'm saying I'm not going to attribute that to the blend because we went out to dinner and we went to Mongolian barbecue / Chinese restaurant, and I had Mongolian barbecue with what did it have? Pork, cabbage, mushrooms, onions, garlic, cilantro. What else did I put in it? Cabbage, mushrooms, onions, cilantro, broccoli, and then the sauces, various sauces. So yeah, I'm not gonna attribute that green pepper to the tobacco. Maybe on another night when I haven't just had Chinese food. But dinner was great. Dinner was fun. Our new furniture was delivered earlier today, and stuff my wife loves. Some of you have seen the pictures of the style that she's going for, and it's the um, mid-century modern Art Deco, I guess. And so we went to living spaces, and we got a couch and 2 chairs, and then we went to Scandinavian Designs a couple weeks ago. And we bought a dining room table and 6 chairs, and then we bought a sideboard for the living room, the front room, to go with the couch and the chairs, the Hendrick collection stuff. And so it arrived today, and guys set it up and installed it and whatever. And I mean, the stuff looks great. It's really, really cool. It's just, we have really high ceilings, and the furniture, everything is lower and smaller than what we had in there. Because when we first bought the house and moved in, we came from a house that was literally half the size. And so we had all this empty space, right? And, of course we did what Americans do, and we fucking bought shit and filled it up. Yeah, there was a little bit of green there, green something. Now I might attribute it to the tobacco because I wasn't getting it before when I was talking to you guys, and it came on the retrohale, but I only got it on the right side. Weird. Yeah. So, anyways, we the stuff arrived today, and she came home and looked at it and loved it, and we talked about some things that we need to do, and going and looking at some art this weekend maybe, and I wanted to go drive up the hill and go to this. There's this gallery up in Placerville. I forget the name of it, It's on Main Street, and it's local artists. And I don't recall seeing a whole lot of paintings in there, like acrylic or oil or gouache, but or gouache, but it's a lot of pen drawings and pencil and print, and everything's, most of the stuff is colorized. Really cool stuff. And there's this one artist, Rebecca Gore, I think, that we really like. And so I was in the bathroom and I was drying my hands, and we have one of her pieces in the bathroom. And I thought, wow, this color arrangement in here would go really well in the front room with the new sideboard and the new, couch and chairs and stuff, because it's the warm. It's not the warm color tones. It's a perfect blend of warm and cool color tones. But it was a landscape scenery, and she has a unique way of doing that, where it's lines versus blends or blending, and it's really cool. So I thought, wow, yeah, one of those pictures would be really good. Go get a larger one that's kind of square and put it up on this wall, and move some of the old furniture out and some different things, and really help tie the whole room together, the whole theme. Move some plants around and stuff. And on the way home from dinner, I was like, yeah, I think that, that's what I would like to do, and this and that. And of course, she put the kibosh on that. She's like, well, we have an art gallery here that we could go look at. And I think that, we need to not be hasty and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, all right, you know what? Fine. I'll do something else this weekend. Happy wives, happy lives, right? I don't know if those little hints, those little nuances that I'm getting are from the blend or from the pipe. I don't know what they are. I can't identify them or even describe them. They're just little streams of just different flavors, different ideas coming through. It's not the same, just monochromatic smoke stream coming in. There's different streams within the stream. So yeah, we went out to dinner, and I got Mongolian barbecue, and then I ordered a plate of fried rice for the table, because my son and I love barbecue pork fried rice. And I'm not supposed to be eating that stuff, but I ate it. I had a little bowl of hot and sour soup. It was absolutely delicious. Been a while since I'd had some. So I enjoyed that, and the Chinese food, it was good. Even iced tea was good. It was just good. And we're just having some good conversation about how my wife had seen a post where it was posited that it may be better to go back to actual physical textbooks versus virtual textbooks, and that teachers have noticed that their students they're not picking up the material. It's not resonating or clicking or sticking. There's no rote memorization that we went through, or that the way that we learned. And there was a few pictures, or I'm sorry, there was a few teachers from one of the schools that our boys went to that had liked the post, and one of them had actually shared the post. So that was a topic of discussion, and we asked our oldest son what he thought, and he was like, well, I mean, it doesn't really make sense because I can do this and I can do that and I can talk with my teachers, and we were like, no, it's not for college. It would be for K through 12. And he's like, oh, okay. And so his perspectives still kind of changed, but at the same time, he grew up. He's never known a time when there wasn't electronic devices, so it's kind of hard for him to have a different perspective. So we listened to his perspective and what he thought, and then we, explained and expounded upon ours and some of the data and lessons learned, and it's just good conversation. And then I don't even know what brought it up, but he said something, and I was like, no, it's not that. It's just, the things that I regret not having, or being, or excuse me, not having, or being modeled for me when I was young. Not having that experience, or that model to draw from, has really made, what should have been normal situations or minor challenges larger issues than they should have been. And those are things that I regret, not having anyone else's experience to draw from, or not having a proper, more responsible, more grounded experience to draw from when I encountered some of those same situations. It makes life a challenge. And so just explaining those things to him and talking to him and hearing his perspective and how he interprets the things that I say, and the way that his mom and I have learned to communicate, and how we've actually learned to communicate and stop and listen and hear what each other is saying, without being immediately going on the defensive as if we're being attacked. And yeah, I mean, those are those are things that unfortunately are are completely lost on him at this point in his life, because he's a baby. He's a 1-year-old adult. He doesn't know anything other than how to be a child, and he's learning all that stuff for the first time. And I'm happy to go through all of it with him. But yeah, I don't even know why I brought that up. Just dinner was fun, and I ate way too many carbs, and then we went to Somi Somi. I don't know if you know what it is, but it's basically like, I don't know. It's an Asian soft serve place where you get a different soft serve or soft serves in either a cup or a cone or whatever, and then you get this little like waffle cake batter, pancake batter cone that's in the shape of a fish, and you can either get your soft serve inside it, you can have it on top of your soft serve, or you can get the ones that are it's like inside of it. They make it like a, I don't know. It's not like a Twinkie or something, but they pour some batter, and then they pour the filling, and then they pour more batter, and then they cover it in a waffle iron type of thing. And those are called taiyaki. And so they got their soft serve in a cup with their fish cone, and I got 2 taiyaki, and one of them was mint Oreo, and the other one was just plain custard. And I ate the mint Oreo, and I shouldn't have eaten the whole thing. I should have just took a bite and either thrown it away or put it in the refrigerator and just came back to it, over the next day or two, and then thrown it away. But I didn't, because that's who I am, and that's why I'm in the situation that I'm in, and I ate the whole Oreo mint chip mint one, and I took a couple bites of the custard one on top of all the rice that I had previously. So if I sound a little sluggish or if I'm slurring my words a little bit, it's because I am fighting off a food coma, and the tobacco is really good. It's really, I won't call it mellow because it's got a robust flavor, but it, you know, doesn't have any tongue bite. You know, if you're chugging it again, if you're chugging, you can make anything bite. But as a normal sitting here chatting, socializing, tinkering, doing something else, you're not going to get any tongue bite to speak of outside of the initial nicotine absorption, or nicotine when it hits your tongue and begins to absorb in there, and the acidic chemical, whatever, as it hits your tongue. But then it fades as soon as you get a, saliva or take a drink or something like that. It does not linger. It's not like a basic or a VA or a vapor where, you have to go really, really slow, and then even still you're going to end up with some tongue bite regardless of what you do. Yeah, that shit's nonsense. Can't blow rings yet because out of habit, I have to consciously prevent myself from inhaling every time I take a hit. Because again, cigarette smoker for 20 years. I mean, it's basically a pack every 24 hours at minimum. Sometimes 2 packs in a 24-hour period. Sometimes 4, depending on what I was doing. And vapor, you inhale. So, and there's a part of me that wants to inhale, but there's also a part of me that understands how irritating the smoke is when I inhale the slightest bit. So, yeah, this is pretty good. See, it's good. It's good by itself. It is. It's a little flatter than the Izmir. It's kind of. I don't want to say that it's a one-dimensional smoke, because there are nuances, and I'm sure there's stuff that other people can pick out, and I'm sure there's stuff that 3, 4, 5 months from now I'll be able to pick out. But as of today, it's fairly flat and monochromatic because it's not theistic. Yeah, there's some little stuff in there. I just can't get it on every puff or reliably. Yeah, there's like a little bit of that Virginia style sweetness. Little bit of the dry burley flavor. There's none of that shit from Perique. Speaking of Perique, so that that free tobacco blend book that you guys passed around last night. In there, the guy is talking about Perique, and he says that depending on how long you let it sit here or do this to it, it can have a barnyard smell. And I thought, that's a very politically correct way of saying that it could smell like livestock piss and shit that's been festering for days. Barnyard scent. Yeah, it's definitely I would switch barnyard with feedlot, but yeah, it has that flavor profile. So yeah, can't see myself willingly adding that to a blend unless, well, we're gonna try it because we'll try almost anything once to see if that barnyard scent, taste, smell mixes with something else and creates a completely different flavor profile. Because we definitely don't need to do it for the Nick hit alone. There are other things that we can do for that. Yeah, DFK. It's not bad. Not bad. I wonder what this would be like with some Izmir, though. You know, do like 50% Izmir, maybe do 15%, do 25% DFK, and then probably 15% Virginia and 10% Burley. If that's 100%, which I think it is, that might be interesting. I'm sure somebody somewhere has done it already, but you'd have that good cigar-y, pleasant, enjoyable Izmir tobacco as the base, like right, like anchoring everything, tying everything together. Then throw some DFK in there just to add just a little bit of that burnt robustness on the bottom side, and then add some Virginia to sort of, I don't want to say mellow everything out, but just bring a little bit of sweetness, a little bit of grass to it. Bright Virginia, I think. Add to that because everything else is kind of dark. Add some bright, 15% bright to it, and then add 10% burley just to kind of reinforce that tobacco-y cigarette, just plain basic flavor. It probably wouldn't detract from the Izmir. It'd probably reinforce it or support it. And then lend a little bit to the Nick hit. Probably the white burley. So you have two darks, and then you have two lights or brights. Yeah, that might be interesting. Wonder what you could case that with. Take that blend, try it unflavored, see what it's like. And if it's enjoyable, then take it. Maybe add some type of casing, flavoring, whatever. Put it in a jar or a tin or a bag and press it for a week. And then take it out and see how it smokes. Yeah. Definitely Virginia's. That's what I'm getting. I don't even know if it's made with Virginia's. Now it's gone flat. Tonight's accompaniment in the Disney 2017 collector's mug, Disneyland, is just a cup of decaf chocolate vanilla coffee with a dash of heavy cream. All right, 38 minutes. I think that's good. DFK, a little bit of smokiness, a little bit of other flavors. It's kind of floating around in there. Goes flat. Went flat for me. Probably halfway through the bowl. See where we're at now. And that's haven't tamped for a while. But the warmth, so that ash level is about right there, right? And the warmth is now down about here. So that's 1/4 inch at least of ash. Yeah, it's gone flat. Now it's monochromatic, tasting like I've reached the dottle portion of the smoke. So I think that's a good place to end it. DFK on its own, a little bit is fine. Doesn't really stand the test of time. I think it's probably going to be best as not necessarily a condiment, but as a mixed or as part of a mix, as part of a blend. We'll try it in a couple different bowls over the next few weeks, and we'll see if we get anything different. So that's that. Once again, thanks for hanging out, guys. I always appreciate chatting with you, and even if no one's listening, again, it's cathartic and therapeutic, and I get to smoke a bowl while being slightly distracted from the chaos that is the world we live in. So sleep tight. Don't let the bed bugs bite, and talk to you guys later. Bye.